Relaxed. Hello. Hello again. Hello, Stephanie.
Hello, Steve, and hi, everyone. Great to be here. Uh,
Yes,
I, t- I don't do as many lives as you, but it's lovely to be live.
it is. And if you've got questions for me or Stephanie, you can put them in the comments. We do have a couple of people here already, which is very nice. Carnivore Invictus, good morning. And we've also got George Goodenough, big fan
Yay!
of his work. Yay. You know George well, don't you?
I do because George is the founder of the Great British Meetup,
Mm.
and he and Carl Day from the Primal Lifestyle. George had the idea, the two of them set it up together, and now I'm on the committee with them and others to create it. And we're so excited for June of this year. You were a speaker last year,
Hmm.
Steve, so that was good.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a good thing that they put together there, and yeah, very impressive teamwork, I think. And George is saying, "Hello, Stephen. Hello, Steph. I'm at work, but listening as best I can." It's nice for you to tune in, even if you are at work. Fatty Food, hello from Montreal. That's good. Ricardo,
I love we've
uh,
got people from all over,
yeah,
Stephen.
Sweden. We got Steve Foster from Lancashire. Hi.
I always accuse you of being from up north, don't I?
Yes, and I'm such a cockney, really. Um, Daniel there, hello all, which is really nice. Yeah, I mean the Swedish. I there's a lady called Cami who is from Sweden, and I was talking about the food guidelines yesterday, and
Yeah.
their food guidelines have not been updated, so their pitiful amount of daily protein is. I think actually weekly it's 350 grams. But you saw the food guidelines, I think, did you? Yesterday being released.
Yes, yes. But look at this. Look at this. Carnivore Invictus is from the Gulf Coast in Mississippi, and he's got a lot of muscles over there. So we were just talking about training. So
Mm.
obviously, Carnivore Invictus is doing a lot of that. It's hot out there in Mississippi.
Is it?
Mm,
I've never
mm.
been, actually. You've been out
And
there, have you?
no, I haven't, but I just gleaned it from the many films that it's hot and it is humid. I don't know what it's
Mm.
like in winter. So maybe Carnivore Invictus, you can tell us what's it like in winter? Does it get really cold or does it just stay warmish?
Mm. Yeah, you're very good at this, aren't you? Engaging. Daniel is from Staten Island, New York, where you get coffee,
I have
apparently.
been to New York.
Oh, yes, I have. It's fantastic, isn't it? How many times have you been?
I think I've been twice.
Hmm.
Uh, Actually, I've been three times. And one of the times, I was sitting at home waiting. I should have waited at the airport because when I got to the airport, at the time I went to New York the first time, I hadn't flown internationally many times. So I was
Hmm.
mainly flying in Europe. And for Europe, you can just get there an hour before. But for international, you have to get there 2 hours before. And I was absolutely gutted because I couldn't fly. And I had to wait
No.
until the next day.
Wow. Oh, dear.
Yeah,
Right.
it's sad, so sad.
Um, right. So, for people that don't know you, would you like to give us a little sort of introduction into who you
Yes,
are?
yes. I'm going to try not to be distracted by the questions because one of the things that I love, sparkling water, has come up in a question. But I'm Stephanie Taylor, and I came into this world of carnivore, keto, low carb, like many people, because I was just looking for better health. And I'm one of these people who's tried many things, uh, the family start to roll their eyes when you've got a new thing you're doing. But that was because I was always striving. I was always a bit of fat, and various degrees of fatness over the years between between a size 14 and a size 20, and it was definitely a yo-yo effect. And but by the time a few years ago, I'd managed to sort of get my weight somewhat under control, but it
Hmm.
was a big effort to maintain it. And but I was really tired. I just got really tired. It was just this fatigue was just on top of me, like pressing me down. And it was really hard just to get through the day. And this was so unusual for me because I'm usually quite lively, energetic, and I just didn't know what was wrong with me. And so I was seeking of what could be wrong here. I didn't know. I wasn't aware of anything being wrong with me physically, and I couldn't think what is making me so tired, because I felt like I needed a reason to go to the doctor. I didn't just want to go and say, "Hey, I'm just really tired," because they sort of give you drugs or say it's just your age or what have you. Which, to be fair, you're not giving them much to go on. And so eventually I thought, well, the only thing that I know that I've got was fibroids. And they'd said a few years earlier, do not worry about the fibroids. They're benign, not an issue. Over 80% of women have them. And unless it's causing you some issues, we'll just leave the fibroids alone. And that was 2018. And I thought, why don't I go and get examined and see what's happening? Maybe it's something to do with the fibroids. And I tell you what, it's that intuition, isn't it? Because I didn't have any hard evidence or in my conscious mind, I didn't know why fibroids should cause any issue. But something in my body, I think your body speaks to you much more once you go carnivore or very low carb. But at the time, my body wasn't speaking to me that much, but I kind of worked out, I thought, go and see about these fibroids. Anyway, when I went to see about the fibroids, I went to the hospital, and the fibroids were big, and the nurse had the ultrasound, going, and we were looking at it on the screen. I couldn't really understand what it meant, but I thought it was bad when, I hope this isn't TMI, she then wanted to go internal, let's put it that way, to look from the inside, so to speak, as well as the outside. So I thought, oh, it's probably not a good sign. So the last time I'd asked for an ultrasound scan for the fibroids, was 2020. And on that occasion, the report that the doctor had got from the hospital wasn't clear, so they couldn't really tell what was going on. So this time I thought, when I'm at the hospital, I will ask the scanner person what is happening, because last time the doctor was unable to interpret whatever had been sent through wasn't quite right. So I asked her, what's happening? What can you see? And she just said she's not able to say anything, but she'll make sure she gives the full report to the doctor very clearly, so that we don't have a repeat of the last time where it had all been a waste of time. And so so we had this scan, and then a few days later I got the call from the surgery to say there were big growths on my ovaries, and I would need to go in for a CT scan, MRI, etc., etc. So I knew from that moment, that was all in October of 2023. But I went through the various different processes. Then, of course, it was Christmas. They realized it was cancer, but they didn't know what kind of cancer it was. And there was what do they call it? A biopsy and all of that. But all of that process between October, where I first started investigation, and January of 2024, where I got the full diagnosis, it was stage 4 ovarian cancer, which is not a good one to get if you're going to pick the best ones, because it doesn't have a good prognosis. All of the cancers have this thing called, they have a life expectancy, a 5-year life expectancy, which really tells you about the efficacy of the cancer drugs, that that it's a win if you live 5 years from the date of your diagnosis. But with stage 4 ovarian cancer, only 15% of women, that's 1-5, unfortunately, not 50, live 5 years from the date of diagnosis. So that is upsetting.
Yes,
but,
yes. I didn't mean to
but
upset you.
yeah, no. But the good thing about having cancer is that it does make you much more aware of life.
Mm.
Like, it's so easy for us to let life pass us by. It's so easy for us to not be grateful for the things in our life. But I think when something like this happens, you suddenly think, right, I better make my plans. I better get ready. And so that's one thing that I am very grateful for. That, as somebody said to me today, it's only when you realize that you're dying that you start living.
Oh, yes. You're full of brilliant phrases. Very inspiring. Yes. Great one.
Well, somebody gave that to me today, Heather Foley, from
Oh,
the
yes. Yeah.
the Keto Brain Health.
Yes.
She does great events. I'm sure you've
I know.
spoken.
Heather, yeah. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. And anyway, so it's only when you realize you're dying that you start living. And so my situation, because people ask me, well, are you okay now? Oh, there's a noise. Can you hear
Right.
it, Steve?
Yes, we've got no. If people were also thinking, why have I got slightly funky hair? We have no water.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm having a real run of very bad luck lately. So yes, we've got repairs going on right now.
Oh, right. It's just the repairs, just the guy with the drills and the saws and everything.
Yes, but I mean, in comparison to your luck, my luck is good.
Yeah. So going back to it, I thought your hair looked good actually, Steve. I was just thinking that earlier, because you've got it's very distinguished, and it's nice because you've got dark with the little flashes of grey.
Yeah, well, I've been dyeing it grey at the front for a bit just to see
really?
if I'm joking.
Oh, sorry. I'm so gullible. No, I like it. It's like Silver Fox. It's Silver Fox.
You.
But anyway, people say, are you okay? Because some cancers, you get them, you go for the chemo, everything's fine, and you can live probably your normal lifespan. Whereas this one is not like that. And so basically, I'm now living with stage 4 cancer, but there are no treatments available to me in terms of a curative, in terms of a cure or putting me to a normal lifespan as far as the NHS is concerned. So now I'm so grateful that I found this keto carnivore. And what I'm doing now is, because my cancer, sometimes it's going well and it's small, and other times it's growing. And so it's a real dance. So I'm trying some new things. And the next thing, which I'm about to embark on, which you will know Sophia Clements from Palace. Oh dear, I can't say the word now. From the Hungarian clinic, Paleomedicina.
Yes.
Paleomedicina, and she advocates the paleo-ketogenic diet, but it's a very specific way of eating. And so my day 1 is today. And so I'll be eating and I'll be recording all of the food that I'm eating, my ketones, my glucose, all of the different measurements, my blood pressure, I think I take. There's a lot of measurements. And then they'll be guiding me on what to eat, because they've had incredible success with untreatable cancers and helping people to manage them and shrink them. So it's great to have that, and to have that, hope, because when I go to the doctor, they use the P word, palliative.
Yes.
So, yes. So that's my.
So that's where we're up to date. That's really good. And you're a big fan of Thomas Seyfried as well. And I think that's interesting that you met him, didn't you? He's one of your sort of heroes.
Yes, yes, yes. Although it's obviously not quite as straightforward as Professor Seyfried says, or maybe it is, but it's not accessible to us as normal people.
Yeah.
So yes, we can restrict the sugar and the amount of glucose, and I've done that very strictly. But the issue is the glutamine,
Glutamine, yeah,
and
absolutely.
we don't have a way to do that.
He uses DOM, doesn't he? He uses pharmaceuticals to try and stop that, I think.
He does, but he's still working out the protocol for that because we need glutamine. So it's a press pulse, he describes it as, but you still needs to work out how to do it to kill the cancer effectively, obviously without killing the patient. And so that's still under development. So it's not as cut and dry as it seems, because I know from the outside people think, oh right, just do a ketogenic diet, just do a carnivore diet, and that's it. But there is quite a bit more to it than that, I can say now, having been on the front line.
Yeah, and I think, have you been looking at this research about lactate and blocking the lactate release from cancer cells? Have you seen that, or do you want me to quickly go over that?
Yes, do please.
Okay, well, it's just a different angle, where what they're also looking at, researchers, is with all cells, you need to input, but you also need outputs, and output from cancer cells is lactate. If you can stop the lactate from escaping, let's be really basic so everyone sort of gets it. So let's pretend we've got an exhaust pipe and we stop that lactate coming out the exhaust pipe. You then generate apoptosis and you kill that cell because they can't get rid of the waste. So I think that's a nice approach, because what you're talking about with the sugar is trying to stop the inputs, the glutamine, trying to stop the inputs, and also you're looking now at Sophia's way of living, which is very much prescriptive in how you eat and seems to have lots of good results. I think avoiding dairy is one of those things. So I think looking at inputs and outputs is quite interesting. So I'm feeling really confident for you, Stephanie, to be honest. Should we do that question that Steve's patiently waited to hear the answer to? Is sparkling water detrimental compared to still mineral water? For some people, I deliberately showed you that I am drinking some sparkling water, but it is carbon dioxide. Yeah, carbon dioxide. So it can enter your stomach, and for some people, for everybody, it produces carbonic acid, so you can get bloating, you can get belching. So if you feel that you're doing everything perfectly, but wow, I still belch, I still feel a bit bloated, go onto the still mineral water, and that's the detrimental thing. It's only belching. If you can't survive without that fizziness, just accept that you're going to feel a little bit bloated. So that would be my answer. But as long as it's mineral water, that's what we really want. So as long as you've got sparkling water that's mineral water as well, I think you'll be okay. But some people get that sort of side effect. But if you're drinking it, Stephanie, and I'm drinking it, we obviously don't get those effects.
Yeah, I maybe do a little bit. So the other day I did stop. It was a bit difficult, but I found that I really loved a very cold water, even though it's winter. So I would have ice still water, and that tastes as good to me as the sparkling water. So maybe it's just nice to have the sparkling water every now and again for a little bit of a change, because I'm only drinking water on the PKD. No coffee, no tea, no lemon, nothing. So it's only water.
Yes. See, and this is where we have to be careful, because if someone also is dealing with oxalates, I mean, I'm not saying you are, many people use the lemon water. So it's getting advice that is suitable for you. I think that's the key, that it's very personalized. You asked something of Carnivore Invictus, so he's put, yes, it's hot and humid. Once summer sets in about May, it doesn't relent until October. Winter is very spring-like with occasional cold snaps.
Yeah, okay. Well, that sounds, I mean, I know it's probably unbearable. The thought of heat sounds lovely to us because we're freezing our butts off here in the
Yes.
UK for most of the year. And then in summer, we're sometimes lucky that it ekes up to 20 or even slightly beyond, and we feel like
Mm.
we're having a heat wave. Uh, yeah.
We've got Trevor hello from Barrier, BC. Hello. What's Carnivore Invictus saying? I'll catch up with all the messages now, but I didn't want to interrupt your stories, Stephanie, to be honest. He's a fireman. He trains in the gym 6 days a week, somehow without a single carbohydrate. Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? That's what I did this morning yet again. Yesterday made 3 years carnivore. Oh, well done. Congratulations on your 3-year carniversary. Excellent.
Congrats. It's really working for you.
Yeah. Hello. I'm just going to go back to that for a second. And the sparkling water. I'm this year experimenting with the Lumen, the breath thing, to see if I'm burning fat or burning carbs. Do you know the device I mean, Stephanie?
Oh, tell me about it. I may have heard of this, but I've heard the name. So talk to us. Tell us what.
Okay. Well, it's a little device. I haven't got it here, but basically, what you do is when you first wake up, you inhale through it, and you hold your breath for 10 seconds, then you breathe out, and it measures your ratio of carbon dioxide. And if you've got a lot of carbon dioxide, then you're burning fat, burning carbs, and then if it's low, you're burning fats. So before the new year, I was constantly top score, burning, and then knew it was boring, you see, so there's no data there. So I had 2 days of eating carbs, which was New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Yeah. And
the next day, I went from a 95% fat burner to a 95% carb burner. But It's been brilliant because, it's improving every day on day. So I do it first thing, and then I go and exercise. So I do the gym, 15 minutes, short, hard, and intensive, which we used to call a shit workout because it's short, hard, and intensive. And 30 minutes after that, you do the test again, and you prove that you've used all your glycogen up, because you could start off as a carb burner and then you become a fat burner just doing a bit of exercise. It's interesting. But the mineral water thing is, if you have the mineral water with the carbon dioxide, that can change the reading a little bit. So that's why I suddenly thought about it.
Well, I love the sound of the Lumens. At the moment, I've been using my part of the stats I do for the paleo ketogenic diet. I'm just using my Keto Mojo.
Well, that's fascinating though as well, isn't it?
Measuring it is fascinating.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, one of the things that I learned since I've been doing this every day is that when I have a steak, my blood sugar goes higher and my ketones go lower. And when I have my normal minced beef with fat, my ketones are a bit higher, like about 3.3. My blood sugar might be 3 point something, and my ketones might be 3 point something. If I have my normal meal of sort of a minced beef sort of patty that I make myself from good mincemeat, and then some fat, and then the next day, say I have the steak and some fat, and it has a really different effect on me. But I think it might just be that it's slightly more steak, but not a lot more. 227 grams of steak compared with 200 grams of minced beef. But anyway, each person has a really different outcome. And then my blood sugar had gone up to 5.2, and my my ketones have gone down to 2 point something. So it's very telling.
Yes, you're very, very ketogenic, obviously, with that good reading for your ketones. I think one of the things about what you're doing that's great is just tracking, just looking at what your body is doing, so you can adjust on a day-by-day basis rather than just sort of going by the seat of your pants, if you see what I mean. So
exactly.
I think you might have hit on a great.
Go on.
No, you.
I was going to say, sorry, I'm always doing that. if I wasn't 60, I would not be involved in all this tracking business. I might do it for a little while as just,
Well,
"Ooh,
yeah.
this is interesting."
Yes.
But I would not be doing it. But just because needs must, I'm doing it. And so I am finding it, because if you've got to do it, you may as well enjoy it. So, but I am
Yes.
finding it interesting. So
Yeah, I think I mean I agree with you. I think if you're in good health and you have no symptoms, I only do the biohacks because I think it's interesting content for people
yes,
that are
it
tuning
is.
in. But yeah, I think when you've got a particular thing you're fighting, I think that's where the tracking really works. But just tracking for the sake of tracking, I don't agree with. Bride's Biscuit, hello, Coach Stephen, Stephanie, and fam. Thank you very much for the comment there. Carnivore Invictus. My wife suffered terribly with fibroids. It's been a struggle convincing her to go carnivore because food culture here in the South,
Yes.
it's part of their identity, and it's awful.
Yes. Well, going back to that with Carnivore Invictus, women are told that fibroids, don't worry about it, it's benign, but it's part of insulin resistance, metabolic ill health, often PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. All of these are to do with chronically high insulin or blood sugar. And I think if something happens and with your wife and her situation gets worse, maybe she would try it just for a short period of time, just to alleviate her symptoms. And then sometimes once people do it for a short period of time, they're okay to have a go long term, aren't they? You get them in with it. So
yes. So George is saying we move in a world where my heroes are also my friends. Steph is one of them.
Well, that's very nice, Georgie. Thank you. GG, as I call him. But George is a great guy. He's just like an encyclopedia. If you have a conversation with George, he remembers every detail. And if he tells you a story, he's remembering the date, the time, the color of the sky. I suppose that's easy because it's nearly always blue. But George remembers all the details and is a fantastic storyteller and connector of people. But this is the thing that came to me earlier, Steve. It's that George and I, or the other thing that we do together is we host the Carnivore Sunday School with John Laspina. Have you been on there? Well, I don't think you've been on there, have you, Steve? Well, because I'm one of those, so I would remember that. So you must come on. Oh, do you do a live on a Sunday? Maybe it's the wrong time.
What time is it on?
It's 6 p.m. UK and 1 p.m. ET for America.
Yeah, that would be difficult. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, John Laspina, the carnivore teacher.
Yes. I thought I knew the name.
Have you been on his?
No, I haven't actually.
Yes, well, John would love to have you on. He loves to have people like you on, Steve. So
can you connect me then? Can you connect me with him?
I will connect you with John.
I will do that. Yeah.
He's a lovely guy because the three of us with George. And Rick's there every Sunday on Carnival Sunday.
He's a big supporter. He's brilliant, isn't he?
Yes.
And George did another one just arrived. Hello, Rick. Well, I'm feeling left out as not a friend. Oh, well, okay. Try my best. What's even worse is their survival rates are heavily manipulated. Yes, I did a Substack about how the cancer rates were very heavily manipulated, and all from public record, actually. And anyway, we won't get into that. I don't want to get too morbid and horrible. Carnivore Muscle, Jonathan's here. That's good. Hello, Jonathan.
Yay! Love Jonathan, yes.
Phil Greeley. Hello, Phil. He's a good supporter as well.
Hi, Phil.
There's a little bit of chat going one way and the other. Let's have a look. Fatty food. Mine was a better cancer in one breast. Dealt with right away. So not stage 4. Well done on surviving that.
Yeah, well done, Fatty Food.
Yes. I think
That's
it was
great to hear.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I lost my mum when I was 23, so that's 38 years ago, and I can still remember her when she was going for her scans, literally every time having a panic attack. So at that point, I lost a girlfriend to breast cancer, and my mum to cancer, and my dad to spine cancer of the spine when I was 10. So it isn't something I'm very glib about, you know.
No.
Anyway, I think if I knew then what I know now, I think things would have been a lot different. But anyway,
Yes. If only
yes.
we knew.
I think it's called the Wahlberg effect. Yeah, keto diet starves cancer cells of glucose. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But some of them are tricksy, and they can grow anyway. They can grow without they can grow without the glucose, or with whatever glucose your liver's making.
Yes, because if it was that easy, we would have a lot more success stories, wouldn't we?
Yeah. But one good thing on this life expectancy is that the life expectancy 2 years from diagnosis is that 50% of people with this diagnosis are dead. So I'm one of the lucky 50 on this 2 years.
Yes. Yeah. So once you've survived 2 years, your chances of living longer go up, because once you've done 2 years, you know, obviously you're showing something that's quite robust. Jonathan's saying, hi, George and co. I'd be looking at MOTSC for cancer, which is, I think, a mitochondrial open, what do we call it? It's a peptide from the mitochondria.
Oh, a peptide.
I think I'm doing a live with Jonathan actually in about 2.5 hours. So I might pick him up on that and ask more about that. Yeah. Thomas Seafried talks about it in the Public Health Collaboration 2025.
I was there and I met him.
Yeah.
Phil. So.
It was a good talk. I was there and I thought it was excellent. But yes, we'll move on. Anyway, my wife, George, my wife Lainey has a particular nasty breast cancer. Steph inspired us to go carnivore. Well, that's good. Lainey's energy levels have massively improved. And that's why I wanted you on, actually. Not because of Lainey, but because you are inspiring for everybody, I think, how you deal with it. And I know it's, you know, it still touches a nerve because you often get emotional. But in the main, you're very positive and I think very inspiring, Stephanie. I do admire what you do.
Well,
very much.
Lainey, to be honest, everyone who goes through this, because it is hard emotionally, but Lainey has gone through so much, so many different treatments. Then one cancer causes something else, then something else, then something else. And all of the treatments are quite aggressive and has side effects. So I want to give a big shout out to Lainey for the way that you've handled this so amazingly. And George, I know that you've been a great support to her as well.
Yes. She's got some good people on her side. That is what really helps, isn't it? If you've got a support network. So Fatty Food, thanks for sharing, Stephanie. It'll be interesting to hear how it goes for you. I mean, I would love you to check in on a regular basis about how it's going with Sophia, because I think it's exciting what you're doing.
Yes, I'm going to put it, I haven't started yet, but I was very boring with what I was eating. I didn't find it boring, but other people were like, how can you eat that day after day after day with the minced beef patty, which I love because they're so juicy, because I didn't cook them right through. So they'd be slightly pink in the middle. And they're so juicy and fatty. And I would use, it's, you can see that there.
Yep. Okay.
So that's what I used to enjoy. But now, because with PKD, I'm only eating beef. So there's no excitement, there's no eggs, there's nothing else. So now I am getting a bit bored with the minced beef finally. And so today last night I ordered 2 briskets with Paleo Medicina. You've got to get organic beef. So I got 2 briskets, organic beef.
You can see it. Yeah.
And cooked them down in the slow cooker. And it was so delicious. It was so delicious. And my next thing that I'm going to have, did you try, Steve? Remember when we were at Tom and Lydia's farm?
Mason Meats.
Yes, not the Mason Meats though. But
no, okay.
Did you try the beef bacon?
I can't remember.
Early, so you might have arrived later. So You
Okay.
may have not had that. Oh, if you'd had the beef bacon, I think you would remember. So the beef bacon,
Right.
I was not holding out much hope about beef bacon because we've all had that chicken bacon
Hmm.
or whatever. If you know, if you go to a Muslim place or something like that, or um, they don't eat pork, and so there's alternative bacons. But I've never had one yet that I've liked. So when they talked about the beef bacon, I thought this is not going to be anything bacony. Nothing wrong with beef. Anyway, this beef bacon was absolutely delicious, divine. It was very fatty. It was very beefy. It was actually very bacony.
Hmm.
And Tom and Lydia played a blinder, and they got the beef, and it's a cut that I hadn't really heard of,
Right.
called beef belly.
Right.
Are you familiar? Well, I suppose it just makes sense. It's like pork belly, but beef
Yeah, let me
belly.
just think. My phone's just gone. I never do this. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So the beef belly, you get it. I've now got a big slab of it.
Mhm.
Actually, that's a question I can ask you. I've got this big slab of beef belly. It arrived yesterday because Lydia from the Girdlebridge Farm, who hosted us at that event, was on Carnival Sunday School on Sunday. And that reminded me about this beef bacon. And I asked her all about it. She gets the beef from I Devour in the UK. And they sent me this big beef belly. And now I need a big knife to cut my slices of bacon off.
Mhm.
And tomorrow I will put them on my Instagram and make all y'all very jealous. So make sure. Oh, you've gone again, Steve. Your video.
I'm here actually. My camera's just playing up.
Ah, right. Okay.
Bear with
Okay.
me. You carry on. You're doing a good job.
So what I would love to know from any of you, whether you, Steve, or in the chat,
Mhm.
what knives you use for this big pieces of raw meat when you're going to cut it into slices yourself, because I'm not prepared. Even though I've been a carnivore for a few years now, I don't have that sort of big knife. So are there any sort of brands that you'll go to that you think are the bee's knees for knives?
Okay. Well, for actual eating, we use a David Mellor, Mellor, which is they are a little bit expensive, but we've used them for 10 years. I mean, they last
Wow.
forever, and they're super
Yeah.
super sharp,
Yeah.
and they look good as well.
Yeah.
I don't know the make of the sort of ones for carving,
Yeah.
but I could look that up for you. But yes, I would definitely say one of the things that we don't talk about is, you know, the things you need in the kitchen, which is in the main less than other
Yes.
types of cooking.
Yeah.
But the things you do use, I mean, we have stainless steel pans, which you do not need to know how to use properly. Some people use cast iron, but I think they're a bit heavy for many people. But
They are heavy.
yeah. Right. We got loads of questions. Let me just whiz through a few.
Yeah.
Because I think it's polite, as everyone has bothered to turn up and write some.
Yeah.
Yes, there's an easy question from Steve Foster. Don't ketones in your breath reduce as you get more fat adapted? Yes, because you're not wasting so many ketones. If you're alluding to the fact I was talking about the Lumen device, the breath device, that doesn't measure ketones. That measures carbon dioxide that you're exhaling. But yes, as you get more ketogenic, two things can happen. I mean, Stephanie's readings were very good. Her ketones are very high, but I would imagine she's also utilizing quite a lot because she's pretty strict the way she eats. Let's do the next one. So it's really interesting, the difference between steak and ground beef. Yes, if I eat a steak, I'm hungry way too soon, but ground beef keeps me satiated for far longer. Is that very common?
This is very common, he said.
Mm.
But I think it's the fats, because a lot of our steak, I don't know if it's the same in America, But a lot of our steak here in the UK, even if you choose what looks like the fattiest one, there's not really a lot of fat in it compared with, 20% minced beef.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry, I did misread that. He does say this is very common, but I would wonder if that is common. I was just putting that question out there because I've never felt like that. I think I feel more satiated with a thick, juicy steak. But there you go.
Yeah. I feel satiated with steak. It's just that ketones. I think the fat to protein ratio in the steak and whatever fat I've added is not as good for my ketones as the fat to protein ratio in the beef and fat.
Yeah,
The
I
minced
think
beef,
there's
ground
a
beef.
lot to do with that. Let's have a look. Jonathan's saying that it's the collagen within ground beef that is likely doing that. Very little gristle in most steaks.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, good point, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I'm trying to whiz through them. There's some really nice chats. I'm sorry if I'm not putting it up your message, but it's very nice. We haven't got.
Well, I can see somebody I know.
Go on, go for it.
X399.
Yes.
I was speaking to him earlier today. He says he said a 3-day water fast got his GKI down to 0.5. Wow.
Do you want to explain what GKI is? That's something you're doing right now?
Yeah, well, I'll explain what it is. So Professor Thomas Seyfried and others say that we all measure those who are interested in getting into ketosis for therapy purposes, which is what I'm doing. You measure your glucose and you measure your ketones, and you divide your glucose by your ketones, and that gives you one figure to track. And so Professor Thomas Seyfried says that if you can keep your GKI under 2, you're in therapeutic ketosis. To have it at 0.5 is, very much into the therapeutic ketosis range. So if your blood sugar was 4 and your ketones were 4, when you divide those together, you get 1. So that would be a glucose ketones index of 1. So that would be in the therapeutic range, just to give you an example.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. Let's move on then. Egg is a good egg. Giving you all those details there. Let's move on. So let's have a look at this. Carnivore Invictus again. John makes a lot of good content that hardly anyone sees, at least on Instagram. Well, no, I think Jonathan's content is good on YouTube.
Very good.
Yes. So, Phil, does the lumen measure BHB then? Not really. It's actually carbon dioxide that it's measuring. And when you exhale out a certain amount of carbon dioxide depending on what you're eating. So, yes, it's not measuring ketones or acetate or any of those things. It's measuring carbon dioxide. Simple as that. Right. Ketones. I hope everyone here knows that being in ketosis isn't something you want to be in all the time. Yeah, I think we all know that. Let's have a look at this. George, good enough. Stephen is invited anytime. Just the near clash. We'll get you on Sunday School in March, Stephen. I find the victims. Stephen Buxton. Steph Buxton. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Let's have a look. I don't eat carbs, but sometimes my GKI goes up to 25 as my ketones have crashed. Yes. That this is the yin and yang of numbers, because you can get bogged down in numbers and your body does what it wants to do. You can have very high blood glucose levels after exercise, for instance, and you'll have very low ketones. But that's what the body does. It works out what's best for you. And, I wouldn't get too bogged down. I mean, I think just egg is just showing how variable it is. So Nicholas is saying, friend got multiple metastases after breast cancer treated years ago, tried to coach to keto, which helped, but need to convince her to go all in. Looking for aware oncologists to support. Any advice? I don't know any
Join the club.
oncologists.
Join the club. But but Nicholas, I'm not sure where you are, but you might find, or you will find, that there are carnivore doctors who can help. They may not be oncologists, and there are also naturopaths who are carnivore, because we've heard of many people on Dave Max No Carb Life who were vegetarian or vegan or had this kind of vegan naturopath for years, and then they healed themselves through carnivore and are now carnivore. So I think rather than searching for a carnivore oncologist, perhaps search for a carnivore health, a doctor or a healer who can go help you alongside whatever treatment you're getting from your friend is getting from her oncologist. But it doesn't sound like she's all in anyway, which is frustrating, I know.
Yes. Yeah, I'm having trouble with so many things here today. You wouldn't believe it. I think
We can't tell, Steve.
I think it's my Bluetooth that's gone wrong, actually, because my hearing aids are not connecting up properly. They're Bluetooth, and the keyboard's not working. I might have to change keyboards and stuff because I'm trying to answer questions and messages. Right.
That's
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let's
I can
get into the
answer a
next
few while you change it if you want.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, and I'll change my keyboard over.
Yeah,
Bear
change
with
your
me.
keyboard over.
Okay, I'm going to turn my camera off.
So I'll just read through some of the comments because I don't think I can put them on screen from here. But Steve Foster says, I think I can taste when I'm in ketosis. Anyone else think this? Now, I've heard, Steve, that you get a metallic taste in your mouth when you're in ketosis. I'm not sure really whether it's true, and I'm trying to decide now, have I got a metallic taste in my mouth? Because I know that I'm in ketosis at the moment. And I'm not sure. So let us know, can you taste a metallic taste in your mouth? Put metallic in the comments or not, let us know. Egg says, Nick, I think you need an integrative oncologist. Yes. I don't know that there are that many of those around, but yes, try and get one of those. Eggs asked if you had a metallic taste in your mouth. And also what I'd love to know is, this carving knife that I need, because I've got this huge rack of beef bacon. I bet you're well gel out there. I need this big knife to carve it up. So if you've got any tips for that, put them in the comments as well. That was quick. Are you all done, Steve?
You did well there. I'm just trying to connect back to my hearing aids, but it won't do it. It just won't do it today. So anyway, right. I didn't know what questions you were on.
Well, I'm on the next one to put up, I think, is Carnivore Invictus QQQ at 333.
All right, let's do that then. So it says if glutamine is still an issue with cancer when low zero carb, a meat is high in glutamine, what solutions are there for this? So what did you have to do?
Well, the thing is, this is why fasting is so good, because really there's a period of eating nothing can be very powerful. And some people even think dry fasting is the way to go. And I have done a dry fast, which I didn't think I would be able to. So that's no food and no water. The longest I've done is 7 days, although really you're supposed to be out walking in fresh air or doing this and that. I was just lounging around. But Dr. Filanov, who's Russian, and Dr. Shevnikov did a lot of research and have worked with a lot of patients with dry fasting. And Dr. Filanov has a clinic, and you can go out there and do up to a 9-day dry fast supervised in Montenegro. So the next one is in March. So I am planning to do that. So I think the fasting, I feel, is very powerful for cancer. At the moment, I'm doing the paleo-ketogenics. The paleo-ketogenic really reduces the amount of protein you're eating. So, excuse me, I'm 5'8.5". Let's call it 5'9", round up. I'm 5'9" and medium build. And so, and I've got usually would have a hearty appetite. But what I'll be eating on the paleo-ketogenic is about 200 grams of meat plus added fat per day. Now with PKD, I'll also be having 400 grams of liver split out across the week, and 200 grams of bone marrow split out across the week. So you're eating much smaller amounts of protein, and you're having a much higher proportion of fat. So for every 100 grams of meat, lean meat, you would have 35 grams of fat. So I think there's two ways. First of all, you eat much less than you would typically and normally. You eat a higher ratio of fat, and you eat more nutrient-dense foods such as the liver and bone marrow more regularly than you normally would. So that's how the PKD does it. And so it'll be interesting to see if that works for me. If not, or I'm sure it could work. And then also, and I may also do a longer dry fast overseen to try to stop it in its tracks.
Yes. I mean, this is why I was talking about Don, you know, the medication, because that's trying to block not intake but uptake, you know. So but obviously it's flawed for many people as well, isn't it? But that's the route she's going down, I think, at the moment. Did you do the urine, the green urine? Did you do that one?
Sorry, question? I don't know what that is. I don't know what. Oh, sorry. No, I did not.
Ah, okay.
Yes, I don't know what that means.
Well, somebody said they've got green urine.
Oh, right.
Let's have a look. Where has it gone? Can't find the question, but anyway, I think somebody said they've got green urine.
Oh yeah, Gaza
yes,
Zoo.
Yes,
Stefan.
yes. I mean, if you're I mean, that's
well,
that's
he's green.
Classic.
Look, he's green, so you would have green urine.
Yes. B vitamins can do that, by the way. I mean, it is worth actually investigating it, but and some medications. So if you're on medications, I would definitely check antidepressants, antihistamines, anti-inflammatory drugs. All can possibly turn your urine green. And food dyes, asparagus, which I think most people know, but it also comes with a smell. And then did you not ask about someone having a metallic taste in their mouth at the same time?
Somebody did, yes.
Well, that would need to be checked out, I think. You could do some bloods just to make sure your kidney function is working okay. But yeah, as Edgar said, see a doctor. I think that's just good advice. This is just for information. I'm not trying to scare you, by the way, but I definitely would look at that. Could just be medications, could be high riboflavin. If you're taking B supplements, that can do that. And if you're taking things like zinc, iron, you know, obviously anything metallic, copper, you know, you could possibly get that. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I've just, you know, just do a little bit more research actually. So let's get where we can catch up with the questions. So there's a lot of people talking about that particular thing. The beef bacon. I think I did just get the tail end of it actually thinking about it. And I remember thinking, wow, this bacon is amazing. So yeah, I think you're right about that. What's this here? Someone uses an old bread knife.
Wow, that must be a sharp bread knife. My bread knife wouldn't cut.
Phil, who's fantastic, by the way, for giving out information there. This guy has a video on how to cut a bone in rib roast with a link to the knife he uses. I bought
Ooh.
one and it's great. You see, nothing beats personal recommendations, I think.
Yeah, thanks for that, Phil. A different kind of cut. But I need the link to the actual video.
Well, it
What
does.
kind-
I think you'll find it with that link.
Oh no,
I'm sure of it.
Phil, put the link to the video in the chat. Because I'll be searching all over that YouTube channel, and you know what it's like when you're looking for something, you can't find it.
Mm.
If you can see it, Phil. Yes.
Yes.
Nicholas says he's in Greece, where he's looking for an integrative oncologist. And Egg said Jane McClelland's website, which is very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Right, let's have a look at this next thing. Egg has asked, how does Lumen know the CO2 is from glucose or fat? CO2 produced in complex 4 or 5 in the electron transport chain, and fat and glucose both go into the TCA cycle via acetyl-CoA and citrate. That's absolutely right. Yeah, it's looking at CO2 concentration in my exhaled breath. That's what it does. It doesn't measure oxygen, and it makes a lot of inferences. It's not really a ratio. The biochem of this is a bit more complex than what we have time for. I think we only got like 4 or 5 minutes, but that is a great question, Egg. And yes, if you email me, I'll get into it for you in a bit more. I don't want to bore people with all of this, by the way. So we'll get into that later. And again, we're talking about Don and everything else here, but I did want to get to the end, just make sure I haven't missed a simple question, which I don't think we have. Right, okay. So, Stephanie, have you enjoyed the hour?
I've loved it. I nearly said Phil. I've loved it, Steve. Do you know what? Your community is so engaged and engaging and interesting. We've had everything on here today, haven't we?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I sort of had a bit of a meltdown with my Bluetooth and my hearing aids not connected, and my I don't know.
But you can still hear us.
No, well, I got captions.
Oh.
Yeah. So now I'm not a big fan of big tech, right? But one thing Google are very good at for deaf people is you can have absolutely any audio source, a caption right in front of me. It's just brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
even
you're
when
working double time reading captions as well, but you're making it look like you're just listening. Wow.
Well, yeah, but I could do this if you want. Just look at
You're so good at this.
Well, I've had many years of practice, but you see, and it's handy because if I miss something, but you're making it look like you're just listening. Wow, you're so good at this. I can still read what you just said. You see, so it's helpful in that way as well, because if there is a distraction, we're having those works today. I go, oh yes, I could just check what you just said. The interesting thing for me is it also knows when it's me talking, and it doesn't do any captions for me. So anyway, right. Would you think, you'll come back on?
I would love to, because sometimes I can be a little bit nervy on lives, but actually on other people's lives, it's fine. It's just my own, which I don't do lives. I mean, I do the one that I do with the guys, but I'd love to. I would love to come back on anytime.
Okay. Well, maybe should we make it a monthly thing, and then you can give us an update on how it's going with Sophia?
Oh yeah. That would be fun. That would be fun.
I think it's fascinating, and you're inspiring, and that's the thing. I think, many people say, it's nice to get comments like, "Oh, you've really saved my life," or "You've changed my life," and all that. Which I do get messages like that, which is very nice. This is not a humble brag, by the way, but I always say you received the message. It's all down to you, because we can table this message out, and if you don't act on it, nothing's going to change. But the moment you make a decision, and you have got that absolutely, in to the 10th degree. You mean you listen, you try things, you're honest about it. If it works, you like it, and if it doesn't work, you tell people I tried this, it didn't work, I'm now looking at this. And I think that's part of why you're doing well, because you still see there might be a way, and I think there was a word you used, and it's one of my bugbears for last year, which was the lack of hope. I think the mainstream medicine system takes hope away, and I think that is fundamentally wrong. Yes, you've got to tell people the truth, but I don't think you should ever say you have 2 weeks to live or whatever. I think you should try and give a little bit of hope, because you never know. And the reason I use that particular phrase is because 6 years ago I had someone come to me who was just told they had 2 weeks to live. Wow. And only last year I interviewed them, 5 years later, after being told they had 2 weeks. Yeah. No, that's not me. That was them. They turned their life around. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So
that's
I think
incredible. What did they have, if you don't mind saying?
Oh, they had severe kidney function problems. Their filtration rate had gone down to 3. They were on perinatal dialysis, and but there was complications, which are mainly diabetic complications. And actually how we turned it around was treating them not with kidney problems, but with as I just treated them as a diabetic. And we looked at the food. I've got a kidney protocol which I sent out and said, look, if you follow this and you eat the food, so I give people a list, and I deliberately don't have it all carnivore. So there's 10 foods, but it's in the order of what's the best when you've got a kidney problem. I said, the closer you get to the top, the more chances you'll get. Most people don't want to go strict carnivore. Most people don't want to do lion. But I think in your situation, I would recommend doing the first 3 things: beef, lamb, water, and salt. That's what I would do. And they absolutely went for it. It was just awesome, just amazing. And then you have to put the proviso in, because they were on medications. This can work so quickly, which is sort of like a nice thing to say, giving them hope. You have to speak to your doctor, because your medication dosage will cause a problem, because you won't need so much very quickly, maybe in 3 days. And that's exactly what happened with 3 days of blood pressure meds. And the medical team, see, I'm going to pat on the back. They were fantastic. They were on it. They were just absolutely brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. And getting the medications down, and we were talking about how to balance the fluids and what was happening there, because when you're doing that dialysis at home, it was just amazing. They were just really good. They were really, really good. So I think sometimes we're a little bit negative about those people in that system. I think it's nothing to do with them. I think it's all coming from the top. But yeah, pretty amazing. But you're an amazing person, you see.
Stop it, Steve! Stop it!
you are, because you could have gone down a route of I give up, and this is not working. And throwing in the towel. And you haven't.
Oh, I have them days, Steve. I have them days, because I'll just quickly say this, because people might be on here thinking I'm a saint or something, but no, I was just as upset as you would imagine. I had my ups and downs when I first got diagnosed, and again when I was told that I'm now palliative, which wasn't that long ago. So I have my ups and downs, but I think being in this community, having the hope of the community, and also knowing I'm still alive now, so I can still have a good time. So it's just making the most of what you got, because we're all here for a certain amount of time. None of us know, and it's just whether we can have a good time. So I'm announcing it here. I'm selling my house. I'm selling my car. I'm going traveling. So you have to live for the time being, because and get these things in, because I am cracking on a bit as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Right, I'm going to stop the live. So thank everyone on YouTube for tuning in and all your questions and being patient. And I know we didn't cover everything, but it was more of a sort of relaxed chat and catch up. And we'll have Stephanie back in a month's time, hopefully, for an update. Sounds like we don't know where she'll be living or anything. So thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.